Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today to do Mrs. Coffee's questions tag. Hope I'm saying that right. So someone asked me in one of the comments if I'd ever done Mrs. Coffee's question tag, and I didn't know what that was. So I went out and looked. Now, I never did find a video by Mrs. Coffee, so I'm not quite sure where the questions came from, but there is a playlist on her channel, and I'll link it below, of various YouTubers who have answered these questions, because I'm assuming she did a video and said, hey, answer these questions, and other YouTubers did that. And now I'm going to be doing it. However, yeah, I couldn't find the original, so anyway, there are 19 questions, and I'm going to be talking through those and giving you my answers while I work on my whip. This is my 9th Big 10 canvas of my Big 10. This is going to be the last project I work on in 2022, and I'm crossing my fingers that I'm going to be getting it done before December 31st, but we'll see. I'm going to work on it right now and we'll see how far I get. It's actually gone a lot faster than I thought, so I am hopeful that I'll get it done before the 31st. Okay, so I'm going to rearrange things, zoom in, get my timer started, get situated. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, let me pick a color here. I'm just going to pick some of this brown because I haven't, they're all kind of one-offs, but I want to finish the browns. I'm getting to that point in the canvas, you know, where you're almost done with the color, so you're like, let me just finish all of those colors. Anyway, okay, so Mrs. Coffee's questions, and I gathered these from watching other people's videos, because like I said, I couldn't find her video where she like asked these questions. So if I miss one, I apologize, or if I'm somehow doing this wrong. Yeah. Okay, so question number 1 is, what is your current whip, your current work in progress? And this obviously is mine. This is Lite. It is a kit from Distracted by Diamonds, and the artist's name is Ian de Jesus. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's Iyan, I think. So if that's Ian, that's what I would say, Ian de Jesus, but what do I know? Okay. Again, it's from Distracted by Diamonds. I bought it off of their Etsy shop. Probably, well, a while ago. I don't know exactly how long. I don't have my logbook in here, but a while ago. And like I said, this is going to be my last kit of 2022. And then hopefully I will be sharing with you guys all of my finishes from 2022. But I need to finish this one first, so that's what I'm concentrating on. Question number 2 is well, I don't know if it's a question or if they just ask for a pic of your current workspace. So I will stick a pic of my current workspace up in on the screen so that you guys can see it. I do work in here sometimes, when I'm filming my whip and chats, but for the majority of my time, I am out in our living room at my adjustable height table, which I love. And you can find the link for it down below in the description. I got it because I was having issues with my hip, and my physical therapist recommended that it might help with some of the issues, because I do a lot of sitting. I do a lot of sitting while I'm crafting, and a lot of sitting while I'm working. So having the ability to have that table move up and down in my workspace has really been kind of a game changer for me. So I'm super happy that I actually bought it, even though it was kind of expensive, but worth it. Keeps my hip healthy, and can't put a price on that, right? Okay, that was question number 2. Question number 3 is what is your favorite diamond painting pen? You guys, I have a confession. My confession is that my current favorite diamond painting pen is this beauty. And why is this a confession? Because I didn't actually buy this pen. This pen was sent in a box of stuff from Crystal, one of the ladies who so very kindly donated kits for the giveaway, which I'll be getting to, so don't worry, I haven't forgotten. And she told me I could keep it. I mean, she sent a whole bunch of things, kits, pens, trays, wax, storage. There was just a ton of stuff in there. And I just really love this pen. It's so light, but I love the profile of it, and I like the little wood piece up here at the top. So it's my current favorite. And so I kept it instead of sending it out in any of my random acts of kindness. So Crystal said I could. I still feel slightly guilty, but not guilty enough not to keep it. So that's my favorite diamond painting pen. And I got it from Crystal, so I have no idea where it actually came from. My second favorite pen is probably one of my French pens from the Etsy shop that no one can pronounce. And I'll stick well, I'll put the name across the screen, and then I'll stick a link to down below. I like buying their pens because I can pick the profile. You know, I'm okay using pens like this that just have this kind of boring profile, but I love getting ones like this that are very fancy. So yeah, I'm trying to stand up here and see if you guys can see that. So yeah, I love being able to pick the profile. Nothing wrong with these. They're perfectly serviceable pens, but this one is just really super lightweight, and so that's why I like it. Anyway, I like my French pens too, so, but that's my current favorite. Okay, and then let me pick a color here so I can be talking while I'm doing this. Or I can be painting while I'm talking is what I meant to say. Okay, question number 4 is, what is your favorite diamond painting tray and from where? So I gotta confess, my current favorite is my cat-proof diamond painting tray. I just feel like the drills line up nicer for me. I'm using my Bella tray, but there's a reason for that. The reason is this one is a left-hand pour, which is perfectly serviceable and terrific if you're left-handed. Unfortunately, I am not left-handed, so I want to get some of these with their right-hand pour spouts, like this one, because it just makes it easier for me. I mean, I can still do it, but I got to twist it around, and it's just not as, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just not as natural to pour when I'm using that spout, which seems weird, but anyway, so I'll be working on getting those. In the meantime, my runner-up is my Bella trays like this one. I do like them. I just feel like my drills line up better for me in the cat-proof trays. So we'll see. Once I get a right-hand pour one, I'll make a more apples to apples comparison. Okay, question number 5, square or round? You guys, you know, I say this all the time. I am an equal opportunity diamond painter. If I like the image, I don't care if it's square or round. I like different things about both of them. So I can't honestly say that I have a preference one way or the other. I like how the squares fit together because they're square and that they hide more of the background. However, I like rounds because rounds are faster. They look just as good, in my opinion. Sometimes it's hard to find certain images, but I will say I have never looked at an image that I really liked and thought, oh, I'm not going to get that because it's square, or I'm not going to get that because it's round. If I like the image, I'll get it regardless of square or round. I might look at the size, but as far as whether or not it's square or round, neither of those is a deal breaker to me. I guess if I had, see, I'm torn. I like how the square ones fit together, but I like that the round ones are faster. So yeah, I guess for me it really is a toss-up, because I can't, you know, if I go to say, oh, well, this is the slight winner, it's really not. So, okay. So that was question number 5. Square or round, I don't care. I'll diamond paint anything as long as I like the picture. Number 6, favorite wax or putty? Now, I will say some of these questions were a little more difficult for me because, I don't know, I guess, I don't know if it has something to do with, I don't know how long ago these video questions tag things was made, if things have changed since then, or maybe I'm just an unconventional diamond painter. That'd be a good YouTube channel name, The Unconventional Diamond Painter. Anyway, favorite wax or putty? I use wax occasionally, but not very often. Usually only if I'm in a hurry and I'm trying to film something. I don't use wax routinely in any of my pens anymore. I use, or putty, really. I've tried scented putty, but I can't do the scented thing. And so if I'm going to buy putty, it just made sense to kind of buy generic stuff rather than paying a bunch of money for scented putty that I can't use anyway. I tried some of the big like blocks of putty stuff, you know, where you scrape your pen across them. I don't like loading my pen that way, so that didn't work for me. What I have settled on is I use, in my single placer tips, I use glue dots. I have both mini and micro glue dots, and it depends on whether it's a barrel like this, whether it's a tip like this. I do have a couple of different styles of single tips, and that depends on whether or not I use the micro or the mini. I use at least 2 glue dots in my single placer tip, sometimes 3, although sometimes I end up cutting off extra, but I like my glue dots. I like the little snappy sound I get. They last much longer for me than wax. I know there are people who don't like to fuss with them, and you know, like I've always said, you do you. Whatever makes you comfortable. I would rather fuss with the glue dots than fuss with the wax. I don't like the residue that a lot of the wax and other putties I've tried left behind. And I mean, I've tried all kinds of wax, and glue dots is where I'm at for single placers. Now, my multi-placers, I do use a putty, but it is just generic putty. I've used blue tack, which works great and is super inexpensive. And you just work it a little bit, kind of like Play-Doh, to get it pliable, and then you just fill up your multi-placer with it. I love it because it lasts for a long time. However, what I have in here is not my blue tack, it is my museum putty. And you can buy museum putty on Amazon. It's super inexpensive. I want to say it's like that, and the blue tack is like $3 or $4 for a package. And I mean, I bought a package and I've used like a very tiny small corner of the package in a year of diamond painting. So it's really inexpensive, and I like the way it works. I tried using glue dots in my multi-placers. I don't like the glue dots in my multi-placers. It gets to be just too fussy, and there's too many of them. And I just personally didn't like it. So I prefer the putty in my multi-placers. But I do use my glue dots in my single placers. Although I was laughing, I was watching, I forget what YouTube channel, but I was watching one of the channels to try and write down all of these questions because I couldn't find anywhere where somebody had written them down. And somebody said they didn't like glue dots because they're too aggressive, which I get. When you first put in a glue dot, it is super sticky, and if your canvas is not sticky enough, then the glue dot sticks to your pen rather than the canvas. There are some tips and tricks to using them, but I just prefer them. So that's what I do. Question number 7. This is one I I was like, I don't know if I have an answer for this one, but I came up with one. So wanted to know my top 5 Etsy shops for diamond painting. And my first reaction was, I don't know if I have one because I do most of my diamond painting shopping for accessories and things on Amazon. Amazon is kind of my default go-to because we live rurally, and things that I can't find without driving into the big town near us, I can get delivered via Amazon. And so yeah, that's just kind of my default. However, once I sat down and started thinking about it, I was like, okay, well, what things have I bought from Etsy and what things do I like? So the first thing is my French pens. And I'll link all these shops in the description down below so you guys can find them. My French pen shop, they are expensive, but they're custom. And I really like I said, that you get to pick the profile and the blank, and it just, you get what you get a chance to see what your pen is going to be rather than just doing some blind buy or something like that. So that's one. Everlasting Tips is another one. That's where I got this tip from. And I actually am probably going to go buy some more. I just haven't done it yet. And this is from her store as well, I believe. She was one of the first ones that came out with the steel tips. I just happened to want to try them. And I don't know if I was one of the early adopters or whatever, but I think I got into diamond painting at the right time because they had just come out, and I got them and I tried them and instantly loved them. I am what you call a hard presser in diamond painting. I press very hard, sometimes too hard. In fact, I try to remember not to press as hard as I always do, but because I'm a hard presser, I was constantly bending the cheap little brass ones that come with the pink pen. I was constantly bending them out of shape. And even if I bought, you know, a inexpensive pen on Amazon or whatever, they came with those same plastic tips, and that brass barrel I was constantly bending out of shape. So once I found the steel metal ones, that was it. I'm going to use these because that makes my life easier. They stand up to the punishment I put them through better. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3 is Pretty Placer. Now, I wouldn't say I shop there a lot. I've only bought from them once, but I love their product. I use my Pretty Placer all the time when I am doing special drills and when I'm doing ABs. My very first Diamond Art Club that I did was Grandiose Grease, and there were ABs in it. And I had never, I'd done diamond paintings, but never one from a premium company before. And it was my first time doing squares, and it was my first time with ABs. And they were just, I was still using the pink wax at that point, and the ABs would just pull out my wax every single time, and it was driving me bananas. And my first solution was someone bought me some nail pens. Pens that you use to put like gems and stuff on your nails when you're doing your nails. So essentially just a wax pencil that you use to pick up the ABs. And that worked great. It didn't pull, you know, the wax out of my pen, so I was able to use it for that. So then when I saw the Pretty Placers, I thought, aha. Now, when I saw the Pretty Placers, I want to say it was Stitcherista that I was watching, one of her videos, and she was using the Pretty Placers to place all of her drills. So like she was working on a round kit like this, and she was using the Pretty Placer to place every drill. Now, like I said, I'm a heavy placer. I can't use Pretty Placers to place drills like this, just all of my drills, because I push too hard and I ruin the tip on the end of it. And then it gets to be a struggle to place the drills where they need to go because the tip of it is too fat because I've pushed it too hard. But I do love them for, like I said, using on my partials when I'm doing special drills, because you get those weird drills that are odd shapes and are hard to pick up. And so I love it for that. So Pretty Placer is my third one. My fourth one is cat-proof trays. Like I said, I don't love the left-hand pour, but I love the way the drills line up in the tray. I'm going to be buying some more from them. So yeah, that's is number 3 or number 4? 1, 2, 3, that's 4. And then number 5 is Distracted by Diamonds. Obviously, I'm working on this kit. This was my first Distracted by Diamonds kit, and I didn't know if I would like it. I know people rave about their quality, but I just wasn't sure. Now, I have to say there are some things that I don't like about this canvas, but most of what I don't like has to do with the charting, and nothing to do with the quality of the drills, the canvas itself, the glue. All of that is great, and I would definitely buy from them again. So that is my number 5 Etsy shop that I would buy from again. Question number 8 is, what DP accessory company do you want to buy for, or buy from, or you want to try but haven't, and why not? And I don't know that I have a good answer to this. I mean, one, because I'm lucky enough that, you know, pretty much if I see something and I want to get it, then I do. So the only one I could come up with was, I would really like to get a Donna Bass pin. I would love to have one of those ones that has like the little loose piece, the ring that circles it. It just seems so fancy, and in looking at them, they have a lot of like profiles and things. I haven't done it, one, because they're kind of pricey, and two, it's a little intimidating. Their whole process about, you know, whether it's a custom and what you want, or whether you're just going to buy one, whatever, looking at the website. The last time I went there, I just got overwhelmed. I felt like there was too many choices, and there wasn't one that I saw that I was like, oh, absolutely, I have to have this one. So I just haven't bought anything from them yet. Okay, number 9. Let me pick a different color here. Number 9 is, what is your favorite diamond painting accessory and why? And hands down, my favorite accessory is my, oh, and I missed a P right there, darn it, is my Elizabeth Ward trays. I love them. Why do I love them? I mean, again, I think I came into a lot of diamond painting stuff weirdly. So I didn't try a lot of other things like other people did before arriving at Elizabeth Ward. When I was doing my Grandiose Grease, which again was my first Diamond Art Club, I wanted a way to store all the drills, and there were a ton of drills because there's a ton of blue in that painting, of course, because it's a seascape, and there were like some browns and a couple of other colors there was a lot of. But then there were some colors that there weren't very many of. And up to that point, I think I had been using the Tic Tac containers. Those I was not happy with because I wanted, well, I can't work from baggies. I ended up spilling too many times. I tried that and it didn't work. And then I went with the attached 28 slot containers. I didn't like those because I don't like that they're attached, and generally they're small enough. They didn't hold enough drills. They didn't have enough slots for the size of paintings that I was going to be working with, so I abandoned those pretty quickly. Then I moved to the Tic Tac containers, which were fine, except that pouring them out was fine into my tray. Pouring them back in was a pain. And I had never seen a funnel or anything and hadn't even thought about, you know, something like that. It was just a pain to put them back in the containers, and so I was ready to abandon those. So I just went out again to Amazon and went looking for, you know, some storage solutions. And the Elizabeth Ward trays happened to be one of the first ones that I came across. And in looking at it, I thought, oh, well, this looks really interesting. It's in a tray, so I can keep them all together. You know, there's quite a few of them. They're in different sizes. So if I've got different amounts of drills, that will work. So I got it. And that's what I used when I was doing Grandiose Grease. And I just love it and it's continued to be my favorite because it's customizable. I bought the initial tray that had all the 4 different sizes in it, from the very small to the very large one, and loved it. You know, use the large containers for the drills, the blues that I had a ton of, used it for that, and was able to customize it. And after a couple of kits using it, I went out and bought extras of all of the different sizes of containers so I could make it even more customizable. And then Jess showed me that I could get them at Target for cheaper than I could get them on Amazon, so I bought some additional ones. And then Jess pointed out, Jess is my enabler for a lot of this stuff. Thank you so much, Jess. Pointed me towards a craft cabinet that lets you store 6 of the Elizabeth Ward trays. And you guys, I got 2 more for Christmas. So now I have 6 Elizabeth Ward trays, and they live in my little cabinet that my husband got me for my anniversary. And I love it. My children think I'm nuts, but I love it. My children's hobbies are gaming, so they don't get it. They don't understand sometimes how nice it is just to sit down and let your mind go. I guess they do that with their gaming. I don't know, different generations. Anyway, so my favorite accessory is my Elizabeth Ward tray, and it's my favorite because I can customize it to whatever kit I'm doing. If I have a kit that, you know, only have 6 colors, but I have a ton of those colors, I can use all big trays. If I've got a nice mix, I can use all different size containers. And yeah, I just love the customization that it allows me when I'm kitting up. Because like for this one, I used my bottles. Well, your bottles only hold so many drills. So if I have more drills than will fit in one bottle, then I end up using multiple bottles. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I just prefer the Elizabeth Ward. So that's my favorite. Question number 10. How long have you been diamond painting? I found diamond painting in 2020, like I think a lot of us did. And I started in July. I bought just some really inexpensive mandala diamond paintings off of Amazon. And my thought process at the time was, you know, I don't know if I'm going to like this as a hobby. I was a cross stitcher for a long time when I was younger. Cross stitch and crochet, I like to do both of those. But once I developed carpal tunnel, I just holding a needle in my hand and trying to do the crochet. And I mean, I tried, or not crochet, cross stitch. I tried doing all kinds of things. You know, I got a stand so that I wasn't holding the hoop in my hand. I tried a glove. I tried everything that I could think of. And it got to the point where just something about the way that I would hold my hand, I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it on a regular basis anymore, and it just got to be a source of frustration. And so but I missed it. I missed having the ability to craft and do that kind of stuff. I do still a bit of crochet, not very often, but I can. The crochet doesn't bother my carpal tunnel as much as the cross stitch, but I missed cross stitch. I missed being able to create that kind of stuff. And so when I found this, I thought, oh, I'm going to try it. So July of 2020, I bought a couple of mandalas, like I said, special drill partials. I liked it. So I bought a round marvel painting for my nephew and did that, liked it, and thought, okay, well, now let me try some more involved ones. And I bought an owl, that ubiquitous owl that we all see that's looking over his shoulder with all the fancy colors and everything. I did that, gave it to my sister. And then I did a wolf one. That was my first square. And at that point decided, yeah, okay, I'm hooked. And I gave the wolf one to my daughter. And then from then on, I was diamond painting. Okay, so that was, well, question number 10 was how long? Been diamond painting since July of 2020. 11, what made me start? Again, I found it during lockdown, and I missed cross stitching. I missed crafting, and so that's how I got into it. Oh, you guys, there are 20 questions. I can't count. That's hilarious because I gave myself 2 number 11s. Why did I do that? You guys, see, this is why I'm not okay. I've looked at my notes here for a million times. Never noticed that I gave myself 2 number 11s. Duh. Okay, so question number 12 is how long have I had my platform? And I'm assuming that means my YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel in March of 2021. So I actually hadn't been diamond painting all that long once I started, which I actually had been wanting to do a YouTube channel for a while. I just hadn't felt like I had something that I was passionate enough about that a channel would be interesting to people. And then I had done enough diamond painting that I thought, oh, I'm learning all this cool stuff. I want to share this with people. Look at all these cool things. And it was at that point I decided, yeah, I'm going to do it. Even if it flops, I'm going to do it. Just because I thought it would be fun. And it has been. I love it. Okay, so that was number 12 because I can't count. So number 13, my top 5 places to buy pens, wax, trays. Now, I don't know if I was supposed to give a top 5 for pens, a top 5 for wax, a top 5 for trays. I don't have enough places to do that. So my top 5 places. And so basically for wax, I really don't have, my top spot, I guess, is Amazon. Because like I said, I use glue dots, which I buy mine on Amazon because I don't always have time to get to the craft stores in the big town near us. In fact, I do most of my shopping for craft supplies on Amazon because we only have a couple of craft stores and sometimes they just don't have the things that I want. So, and I buy the museum putty for my multi-placers and I buy the glue dots for my single placers. So I buy all of that on Amazon. So that's where I get my wax / putty. Trays. My top 2 would be cat-proof trays. Love their trays. As soon as I get my right-hand pour ones. Their trays are so good. Just, I would be happier with the right-hand pour. And Bella for the same reason. Now, I will say they have changed their design. They no longer make them like this with the pour. They now have a pour spout on the end and a stopper. I gotta say, not my favorite. I just feel like the stopper is another piece of something I gotta keep track of. Also the lids, because honestly, even though so many places include lids, like Bella, like Catproof, Catproof I like, they're flexible, which is really nice. So I like that part, but I don't use the lids very much. So they end up just floating around and then I have to like find a place for them because I just don't use them. And same with the stoppers. The stoppers you kind of have to use to, keep the drills from falling out when you're actually diamond painting. But then I have to pull it out and maybe I'm just clumsy. And I just feel like they don't always slide as nice as I want them to. And I end up spilling stuff more often than I want. And, it's another piece I got to keep track of. So I prefer this design. And I have, I think, 3 or 4 with this old design. So those 2, the Catproof and this one, are the ones that I use the most often, I would say. Whew, and I just had a flash there of, oh my gosh, am I putting these on the wrong symbol? But nope, I'm not. I'm good. Okay, so that was wax and trays. Oh, and then pens. my top places to buy pins. You guys, I don't know. Of course, the fancy French place on Etsy, again, because you get to kind of see what you're getting before, you know, you get the pin. Now you do have to wait because it gets made to order, but I don't know. I like being able to pick out, because like I said, I like having a more interesting profile than just a couple of bumps, which for a lot of the pin places, that seems to be all you get. Although admittedly, I've not tried a whole bunch of pin places either. So the French place is one, and then I would have to say my other one again is Amazon, because they just have a lot of pins, and so I would try them out. If I saw one that I thought was an interesting color or had an interesting profile, then I would try those out just to see which ones I liked. And again, because of my carpal tunnel, I find it it's better for my hands. I have less fatigue and less pain if I switch up my profile. So if I'm using one, a fat one like this, if I switch to a smaller one in between, if my hand is getting tired, that can make a big difference for me. So those are my 5 places. Amazon for wax, because that's where I get my glue dots and my putty. Bella and Cat Proof for my trays, and then the French place on Etsy and Amazon for pins. And I'll link all these Etsy shops, I will link below so you guys can check them out for yourself. So that was question number 13. So question number 14 is, do you start diamond painting from the top or bottom, and why? I start almost always from the bottom. I don't know if I have a reason for that. I think I just started doing it that way. You know, when I started diamond painting, I wasn't in any Facebook groups. I wasn't on Instagram. I didn't have any friends who diamond painted. I didn't know anybody who diamond painted. I didn't watch videos about people who diamond painted. I just thought, you know, I saw it advertised somewhere or something as a good hobby during lockdown, and I thought, well, I'm going to try it. And so, you know, a lot of my journey was me discovering things because I wasn't watching anyone else to see what other people were doing, to see what people had already tried and discovered and discarded and all that. So when I started diamond painting, I would just naturally start from the bottom and work my way up. And even when I try to consciously do it a different way, I'll find myself reverting to that without even thinking about it. I rotate my canvases. This is actually the top of my diamond painting, but rather than stretching across the whole of the diamond painting to reach this, I just rotate it. And then, I mean, I'm working on the symbols upside down, but I would rather do that than be stretching across the diamond painting trying to work on it. Now, other people may feel differently. I don't know. This is just always the way that I've done it, and so that's what I do. I did, with this particular kit even, I did, you know, think to myself, oh, I should start at the top just to see how this feels. You know, is this something I would like to continue to do? Is this something that I try and then go, you know what, this doesn't really work for me? And I sat down to start working on it, and as I started working on it, I was probably a good hour and a half into working on it before I realized I hadn't started at the top or bottom. I started at the side because I was, you know, it was on my desk, and I was trying to, my table, and I was trying to figure out what's going to be the fastest way for me to do this. Why I thought doing it from the side would be the fastest, I don't know. I think it had something to do with how I put the release papers on, and I had like small sections on the side or something. So I started doing that way. So typically, to answer the question, I will start from the bottom. Why? Just because I guess that seemed the natural way to do it when I first started diamond painting. And so now it's just become a habit. But I don't absolutely have to start from the bottom. It doesn't bother me to, you know, start from the top or whatever. I rotate them all anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that was question number 14. Question number 15. This one was a really hard one for me, you guys. I don't know if it was hard for me because I'm not good in social situations. I am very much an introvert. I like my alone time. I don't necessarily like meeting new people. And I don't want to say I have social anxiety. I mean, it's not like crippling and I can't meet new people or anything like that, but I'm uncomfortable in social situations where I don't know people very well. So the question is, 3 people you'd like to meet. And I think the question was worded as 3 YouTubers, diamond painting YouTubers you'd like to meet. And so I really had to stop and kind of think about this because, one, I don't follow a lot of diamond painting YouTubers. And even if I follow, I don't necessarily watch a ton of them. Just because I have, you know, my own stuff to do and my time gets taken up with other things. But 3 YouTubers that I would like to meet: Lizette from Lizette Crafts and Tells. She just seems like she'd be a lot of fun. The second one I'd like to meet is Diamond Painting Madness. I think she and I would have a lot in common. Just from watching some of her videos, I feel like we're kind of on the same wavelength about a lot of things. And then third, I think I would like to meet Diamond Painting Claire. I don't know how long I've been following her channel. I can't remember. But she lives in England. Oh, and I wonder if that says something about me too. All these people live in other places. So Diamond Painting Madness lives in Denmark. Claire lives in England. And Lizette lives in France. So maybe it's just an excuse to go. I mean, I guess I didn't have to go to those places to meet them. But anyway. So those are my picks. Okay. So that was question 15. Question 16. You guys, every time I say a question number, I feel like such an idiot because I misnumbered them. And here all along, I'm like, how come there's only 19? And there's not. There's 20. Question number 16 is your favorite diamond painting genre. And I gotta say, before this question, I never really considered diamond painting to have a genre. You know, they're just diamond paintings. However, if we're talking about images and images that I'm drawn to, then my favorite genre is, I would have to say, fantasy. You know, if there's something that has a dragon or a unicorn or, you know, something fanciful like that, fairies, yeah, that's my genre. I am not a big fan of like gothic, dark type stuff. I've done landscapes, but landscapes are not my favorite. I mean, I guess for me, it just depends on the image. But yeah, if I have to pick a genre, I'm going to pick fantasy because, yeah, unicorns, dragons, phoenix, anything like that, that's going to catch my eye. Mermaids, anything fantasy, fantastical, mythical like that. That's my favorite genre. Okay. Question number 17. Now, this one surprised me because the answer that I would have given turned out to be wrong once I did a bit of research. So the question was, what is my biggest diamond painting and how long did it take me? And when people ask me that question, I always say that Diana was my biggest diamond painting. Diana was 100 by 80 centimeters and 250 colors. And that painting took forever. However, if we're talking about simply size of painting as what was the biggest, then my actual biggest painting was my first dragling one that I did, which was the Firefly Fireworks by Spangler from Diamond Art Club, because Diana was 100 by 80, which is 8,000 square centimeters. Firefly was 51 by 170, which is 8670 square centimeters. So it's actually 600, almost 700 square centimeters bigger. However, the Firefly one, because it was round and not very confetti heavy, only took me 83 hours to complete. Diana, in contrast, even though it was smaller, took me 165 hours and 32 minutes to complete. So it was way more confetti than the Spangler, even though the Spangler was bigger. So I thought that was interesting because, like I said, Diana's definitely the one that took the longest, but it took the longest because it was confetti. And they're both round. So that part didn't matter either. The Spangler was round and so was Diana. So for that part, at least, it was kind of apples to apples comparison. But yeah, Diana had a ton of confetti. Turned out fantastic. And I mean, not that the Spangler one didn't turn out well too, it did, but just Diana had way more confetti and so took way longer. Just because, yeah, switching all those drills and everything. Okay, that was number 17. Number 18, what is my dream kit? This one I really had to think about too because, you guys, I don't know if I have a dream kit. I mean, I've done some really cool projects during, my time in this hobby. And I mean, I haven't even really been at it that long, just 2 years, 2.5 years, I guess. So not nearly as long as some other people who've been, doing this hobby. And I like the Old Master stuff, the Art Nouveau. I love Muka. But I don't think there's a dream kit necessarily from somebody like that. I think I'm just one of those, if there's a really cool image, then I'm open to diamond painting it. If I like the image, then that's what matters to me. Honestly, for my first probably year or so of diamond painting, I couldn't even have told you who the artists were. I just didn't pay that much attention. It was, oh, I like this image, I'm going to diamond paint it. And of course, when I first got into the hobby, I was buying kits off of Amazon. I wasn't, cognizant of the whole issue of, copyright and paying artists and all that kind of stuff, other than peripherally. Wasn't something that was on my radar as far as diamond painting was concerned. Yeah, I think it just depends on the image as far as the dream kit goes. Now, would I have my preferences on a dream kit? Yes, I would love poured glue rather than double-sided adhesive. I've done both. I just, poured glue is easier. I make enough mistakes and spills. Poured glue is easier for me to move drills around on. Whether it's resin or acrylic drills doesn't really matter to me. I like both as long as they're good quality. I don't particularly have a size that I would prefer. Again, it's more for me about the image. Although I am, after this year, more cognizant of, I don't want to do too many large paintings. I don't mind doing large paintings, but I need to really like the image to spend that much time with it. And I don't have a preference between square or round either. It just, yeah, I don't have like a unicorn kit. I have a couple of kits that I want, and I've talked about those before. I want that Canada one from Oraloa, and I want the flower one from Diamond Art Club, which I'm waiting on both of them to restock. But if they don't, then they don't, and I'll find other things to diamond paint. So I don't really have a dream kit, I guess. Okay, so that was 18. Number 19, color blocking or confetti is the question. And my answer is going to be, I like both. I guess if I have to pick a winner, confetti probably slightly wins out over color blocking. But it also depends. If I've just finished a kit that's very heavy with confetti, like once I finished Diana, Ooh, boy, howdy. Yes, I wanted to work on a kit that had some color blocking in it because the confetti, you do just get burnt out on it sometimes, or at least I do. And so having a kit that has some color blocking in it is nice. Actually, that's one of the things that I've liked about this particular kit that I'm working on, is that it has a nice mix of color blocking and confetti. You know, there'll be some confetti in the flowers and things, and you know, there is confetti in the background, but there's, you know, like you can see here, I've got all of these C's where I can just multi-place. So it's not necessarily color blocking, I guess. Okay, if I think about it that way, then yes, definitely confetti wins for me. I like to be able to multi-place, but do I want to multi-place an entire like giant section of background or whatever? I would have to say no, because there are definitely kits that I have not purchased for that very reason. Like some of the Scooby-Doo kits that Diamond Art Club had, I didn't get because I was like, that background is nothing but purple. I'll be insane by the time I get it done. So I didn't buy them for that reason. But then, you know, there might come a day when I'm like, yes, I want a kit like that because all I've done is work on confetti and I want something where I can just, it's the same drills over and over and over. But for now, confetti wins. I don't want something like Diana every single time, but I don't mind a little bit of confetti. Okay, and then the last question, question number 20, because I'm a dork and can't count, is top 5 diamond painting companies, which I have more than a top 5, but I did pick a top 5, and then I have a couple runner-ups that I'll talk about. So my top 5, and these are all places that I have done kits from, so I feel good saying, you know, that I would recommend these to anyone. And these are all places that sell licensed art kits. So if this is supposed to be, you know, not them, then apologies, but that's what I took it to mean. Okay, so my top 5. Diamond Painting Shop, definitely. I did the Muka Summer from her. I have 3 more kits of hers that I'm going to be doing. I have, like the summer that I did for Muka, I have the spring version. It is his season series, one of his season series. And I did summer and I have spring to complete. I'm actually looking forward to that. I have another Muka from her called Zodiac. You guys saw me unbox that one. Spring I'll be unboxing at some point. The Zodiac one has the new resin drills, so I can't wait to do that one and see what the resin drills were like. Her acrylic drills were fantastic, so I'm looking forward to the quality of the resin drills. But she has a lot of really good paintings, good quality, like Diamond Painting Shop. Diamond Art Club, of course, great quality. They have been around for a long time. They have a lot of selection, which is something you don't always get with some of these companies, especially when they're new and they're starting out. You know, they just, and especially if you're, you know, it's like a small business, they can't afford to keep the kind of inventory on hand, obviously, that someplace like Diamond Art Club could. But I like Diamond Art Club. I will say there are certain things that I wouldn't get from Diamond Art Club. Like I wouldn't get a Josephine wall from Diamond Art Club. And I say that, I have one. But my preference would be to do J walls from Diamond Painting Deutschland, because I feel like it's more true to the actual original artwork, which is what I like. Not that there's anything wrong with Diamond Art Club's renderings. I just feel like sometimes they get too far away from the original artwork for my preferences. And that's purely, you know, my preference. So Diamond Painting Shop, Diamond Art Club, or Aloha. I like them. I've done one of their kits. I have another one that I'm going to be doing, and I thought they were really good. I like their drills. I like a lot of their images. They have some really cute styles of artists that you don't see in other places, so I like them for that. And they're good quality kits. Dreamer Designs, another one that I love. I've done a Dreamer Designs kit this year and was really impressed with the quality of the drills. I really liked their canvas, and I actually bought some from them for Black Friday that I'm hoping to get to pretty quickly after the first of the year. I bought some smaller kits from them that I would really like to do, and yeah, just cute kits that I would like to do. And then Craftably rounds out my top 5. I really like Craftably. My first kit from them was Bird Woman, and I really like the quality of their drills. They're acrylic drills, but they were great. I really loved the artwork. I thought the rendering was really nice. Nice canvas. Everyone wanted Craftablies because they came in the tubes. And then they had those adjustable tubes, which I still have some of. I bought some stuff from them when they were having their pre-Black Friday sale. So I have some kits of theirs that I'll be getting to as well. As well as I still have a couple of pre-orders that I ordered December of last year. I didn't get them until August. The koala was one of them, but I have 2 other kits that I ordered during that same pre-order that I haven't gotten to yet either. So I'll be doing those. So yeah, those are my top 5. Diamond Painting Shop, Diamond Art Club, Oraloa, Dreamer Designs, and Craftably. And I will say, also as runners up, I've done a kit from DIY Moon. I thought theirs was really great quality, although shipping was a bit pricey. I will be buying some more stuff from them. I don't know when, obviously sometime next year, but yeah, to see. I'm waiting for there to be a sale. But they have a lot of artists you can't find anywhere else as well that I really want to do some of their artwork. So they are in there. Treasure Studios art. I liked their stuff. For me, I did not like their mounted glue. It is probably somewhere in between double-sided adhesive and poured glue. It's not as forgiving as poured glue, but it wasn't as bad as the double-sided adhesive. Yeah, I don't know if it's the artwork that I was doing. I mean, they had their stuff was good, but also they're in Australia, so that's a really long shipping time for me. So, and then of course, Distracted by Diamonds. They're on Etsy, so if you shop on Etsy, it's in the US. They also have a brick and mortar store, I believe now. So if I don't even know where it's located, but if you're close to them, then you could go shop in the store. I wish I had a diamond painting store that I could go to. I mean, I could probably drive down to Craftably. It's in Texas. But driving all that way just to go shop at a diamond painting store, I mean, my husband would do it. We could make a day, a weekend trip of it and go do that. But anyway, and let's see, is there anybody I'm forgetting? No, I think that was my top 5. Diamond Painting Shop, Diamond Art Club, Oraloa, Dreamer Designs, Craftably, and then kind of runners up, DIY Moon Shop, Treasure Studios Art, and Distracted by Diamonds. And you can find links to most of these always in my description box. I have them linked for people to find. So if I've missed any of those that I just mentioned, I will make sure and link them in the description as well so you guys can find them. Okay, so at this point, I've answered all the questions, and now it's time to get to the part that everybody wants to know, and that is, who are my winners? Now, I should have, let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see where I'm at. Okay, so I need to let me shut off my timer, and then I need to get out my little decision wheel here, because I have 2 people that I need to draw for. So this will be winner number 5. And so I have my lovely little wheel here. that I'm going to spin. So good luck, whoever is number 5. The winner for number 5 is Lee K. So congratulations, Lee. Make sure that you contact me. My email address is in the description box, and let me know your mailing information so that I can get the kit to you. Okay, so Lee was winner number 5, and now I need to draw winner number 6. So good luck, everybody. Let's spin the wheel again and see who winner number 6 is. Winner number 6 is BB. So congratulations, BB. Again, those are the YouTube names. That's all I got. So yeah, contact me via email. Let me know your mailing address so that I can get those shipped out. I've shipped out the first 2 kits already. I'm going to be shipping out this next batch. And yeah, you guys, that's winner number 6. So we're halfway through our 12 days of Christmas. If you haven't won yet, don't despair. There are 6 more days of drawings. So your name may come up. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.